than liquids. Bulky and low density solids are more difficult to consume. Second is the particle size. Particle size of the toxic compound is especially important, particularly in exposure by inhalation. Only particles less than 1 micron or less reaches the alveoli. जो पार्टिकल साइज इससे ज्यादा होगा वो एल्वियोलाई तक नहीं पहुंच सकेगा। जो एल्वियोलाई तक पहुंचेगा वो ज्यादा टॉक्सिक होगा फॉर द बॉडी। The pH of the substance is another factor which predicts toxicity. If the chemical is strong acid or base, the toxic effects occur with only limited exposure, whereas mild compounds may cause only little irritation. The stability of the compound. The stability can modify the toxicity of an agent. Or the breakdown products are formed on storage. मतलब अगर आप उसको स्टोर करते हैं तो ऐसे तो नहीं जो ब्रेक डाउन प्रोडक्ट्स में कन्वर्ट हो गया। Will it remain in our concentrations? When added water, does it change its composition? So these are the factors जो कि स्टेबिलिटी के लिए देखने पड़ते हैं। Sometimes a compound which was pure when packed undergo a chemical change to produce entirely different species capable of causing toxic symptoms which are not related to original compound. For example, paraldehyde, which is a hypnotic, but on exposure to sunlight and air, changes to acetaldehyde, which causes nausea, redness of the skin, cough, and pulmonary edema. So, when the displayed symptoms do not match those expected from a particular product, so then what is the wrong? Most obvious thing is that the bottle, which contains different substance than the label. Label कोई और लगा हो सकता है बोतल के अंदर substance कोई और हो, or an insignificant amount is ingested, या जो amount ली है वो बहुत कम मिकदार में। So each poisoning case must be assessed by careful examination of all the factors rather than simply making an assumption. The puzzling symptoms may be caused by some component of the product other than the primary labeled ingredient. And the second factor is dose and concentration. This is also very important. One of the major factors influencing the toxic effects of a chemical is the dose and concentration. As anything can be toxic if taken enough, and conversely, the most toxic substance may not be harmful when taken in low concentration. एक बहुत ज़्यादा टॉक्सिक कंपाउंड है, उसको स्मॉल अमाउंट में लिया जाए तो वो टॉक्सिसिटी नहीं करेगा, और अगर बहुत लो टॉक्सिसिटी वाला सब्सटेंस हाई डोज में ले लिया जाए तो इट कैन प्रोड्यूस टॉक्सिसिटी। So dose is very important. For example, the distilled water and isotonic saline are not generally considered toxic, but at a high volume or dose, their toxicity becomes evident. LD50 of IV water in experimental animals is 44 ml per kg, and isotonic saline is 68 ml per kg. So water and isotonic saline that are not toxic but in high doses they cause lethal effects in animals. Doses are normally calculated according to the weight, and larger doses usually imply a greater chance for a toxic response to occur. Diluted solutions of a toxic compound induces greater chances of toxic effects than if the substance is ingested in concentrated form. डाइल्यूट करेंगे तो उसकी absorption जो है वो तेजी से होगी, जबकि कंसंट्रेटेड फॉर्म जो है कंसंट्रेटेड को absorb होने में टाइम लगेगा, तो डाइल्यूटेड फॉर्म इसलिए जो है वो ज़्यादा टॉक्सिक होगी. There are certain exceptions to these general rules of dose and concentration. These are idiosyncrasy. Intolerance of varying degree is exhibited by certain people for certain drugs and some of the diets. Idiosyncrasy may be defined as inherent personal hypersensitivity to any agent. Previous exposure is not necessary. Drugs like cocaine, aspirin, quinine, and foods like mushrooms, egg, shellfish, sugar. So, uh, जिस पर्सन में ये इडियोसिंक्रेसी का जो है वो टेंडेंसी होती है, उसको वेरी स्मॉल अमाउंट, अगर एस्पिरिन अगर लिए एस्पिरिन किसी में तो वो रिएक्शन नहीं करती है परसेंटिविटी, लेकिन जो प्रोन है इडियोसिंक्रेसी को वो वेरी लो डोज ऑफ एस्पिरिन इज एनफ to cause idiosyncrasy reaction in that person. So idiosyncrasy factor is also important. Allergy or hypersensitivity. This is also important. The allergy or hypersensitivity is as a result of previous exposure of the agent or induced by simultaneous presence of another poison. या तो पहले जो है वो एक्सपोज हुआ है बंदा, मिसाल के तौर पे एस्पिरिन उसने पहले ली तो उसके खिलाफ एंटीबॉडीज बनी, अगर दोबारा वो लेता है तो फिर हाइपरसेंसिटिव रिएक्शन होता है, तो ये प्रीवियस एक्सपोजर होगा. या फिर ऐसे हो कि दो पॉइजन इकट्ठे ले लिए जैसे साइमल्टेनियस प्रेजेंस ऑफ अनदर पॉइजन, ठीक है, तो वो हाइपरसेंसिटिविटी रिएक्शन करती है, दो ड्रग्स आपस में मिलकर हाइपरसेंसिटिविटी रिएक्शन करते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल पेनिसिलिन या फिर एंटी टेटनस सीरम. Habit of taking certain drugs diminishes the effects of certain drugs. For example, sedatives, morphine, and alcohol. Tolerance. It means the capacity of the body to sustain certain drugs without any immediate apparent harm. For example, opium, alcohol. It is due to comparative immunity from the toxic effects. Tolerance depend होने में पेशेंट को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा फिर वो उसकी अमाउंट लेनी पड़ती है. अल्कोहल अगर कोई बंदा रेगुलरली लेता है तो उसको उसकी साइन एंड सिम्टम्स आने के लिए ज़्यादा उसकी जो है वो डोज रिक्वायर्ड होगी उसके मुकाबले में जिसमें ये अल्कोहल जो है वो फर्स्ट टाइम ली. तो अल्कोहल जो है वो टॉलरेंस पैदा करती है, डिपेंडेंसी जो है वो पैदा करती है. अगर कोई पर्सन जो है वो एक गिलास लेता है तो विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम उसको उसके इफेक्ट्स लाने के लिए he has to take more than 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is tolerance. कंपैरेटिव इम्यूनिटी जो है वो बॉडी में डेवलप होती है, जिसकी वजह से जो डोज है वो स्मॉल अमाउंट में या जो यूजुअल अमाउंट में जिसमें वो ले रहे होते हैं वो उनको कुछ नहीं करती, उसमें टॉक्सिक इफेक्ट्स या फिर लिथल इफेक्ट्स नहीं आते. Synergism. It means final response is greater than the sum of their individual actions. For example, alcohol and barbiturates in non-toxic dose cause toxic symptoms. अल्कोहल नॉन टॉक्सिक डोज में ली गई और बारबिट्यूरेट नॉन टॉक्सिक डोज में लिया गया, दोनों आपस में मिलेंगे तो दोनों का इफेक्ट जो है वो टॉक्सिक हो जाएगा. इसको कहते हैं साइनर्जिज्म. Cumulative effect. It means that Repeated administration, even in small quantities, might cause toxic manifestations or chronic poisoning by cumulative effect. For example, arsenic, lead, mercury. आर्सेनिक इज अ पॉइजन जिससे क्रॉनिक पॉइजनिंग होती है। अ, बहुत स्मॉल अमाउंट में डेली अगर कोई बंदा ले रहा है तो वो जो स्मॉल अमाउंट है वो टॉक्सिक नहीं होगी, लेकिन जैसे जैसे वो लेता रहेगा विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम ये बॉडी में उसकी कम्युलेट होती रहेगी, और जब वो अपने लीथल डोज तक पहुंच जाएगी तो फिर वो साइन एंड सिम्टम्स शो करेगी। इसी तरह लेड है, ये पेंट में अक्सर लेड जो है वो होता है, तो पेंट करने वालों में जो डेली करते रहते हैं और उनका एक्सपोजर होता है इसको पेंट से, तो उनमें लेड टॉक्सिसिटी जो है वो हो सकती है। इनिशियली स्मॉल अमाउंट जो है वो स्मॉल 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 अमाउंट उनमें अकोमोडेट होती रहेगी, साइन सिम्टम्स नहीं आएंगे, लेकिन जब लेड का एक लेवल आएगा जो टॉक्सिक पूरा बॉडी होगा फिर साइन सिम्टम्स जाहिर होंगे उन लोगों, and same is true for the mercury. Routes of administration is third factor. The route of administration can influence the time of onset, intensity, and duration of toxic effects of a poison. The route of administration may also predict the degree of toxicity and possibility of target system. Administration by all routes is in descending order of toxicity is आईडी में जो है सबसे जल्दी और ज़्यादा टॉक्सिक इफेक्ट होगा, उसके बाद फिर इनहेलेशन, फिर इंट्रापेरिटोनियल, फिर सबक्यूटेनियस, फिर इंट्रामस्कुलर, देन ओरल, देन टॉपिकल। Oral. It is by far the most frequent means of entry except gaseous poisons. Mostly acute toxic episodes occur as a result from accidental or intentional ingestion of a toxic agent. There is a potential for a compound to be absorbed throughout the GIT, including buccal cavity and rectum. Absorption from stomach is less, but intestinal absorption is extensive because of the large surface area. Several factors modify the absorption of drugs and chemicals after oral administration. So these are the factors that influence absorption of a poison from GIP. So first is dissolution. The chemical must be dissolved and absorption is dependent on dissolution rate. This is also important regarding treatments of patients as many anti-doping protocols suggest that ingested poisons must be diluted first, but this dilution may cause adverse effects by increasing the rate of absorption. So जितना ये डिसॉल्व होगा, डाइल्यूटेड होगा, उसमें absorption तेज हो जाएगी और उसमें चांस टॉक्सिसिटी के ज्यादा हो जाते हैं। Ingestion of large quantity of solids form clumps together or form concretions in the stomach and may be difficult to remove by lavage, and clear solution coming out may be false. The particles may be too large to pass through the lavage tube, and this may act as sustained release pump. सॉलिड जो लिए गए हैं वो हो सकता है कि मिलके वो एक लम्प सा बना दे बड़ा सा और स्टमक में पड़ा हो, तो जब एनजी ट्यूब डाल के गैस्ट्रिक वाश करते हैं तो वो एनजी ट्यूब जो है वो तो उसके होल छोटे होते हैं, उसमें वो बड़ा क्लॉम्प तो नहीं आएगा। तो ये भी हो सकता है कि पानी जो आप अंदर एनजी के जरिए भेजते हैं और उसको जब सक बैक करते हैं तो वो क्लियर हो और शो ये करे कि आप पॉइजन अंदर नहीं है, लेकिन ये जो लार्ज क्लम्प्स पड़े हुए हैं ये हो सकता है कि आहिस्ता आहिस्ता रिलीज हो और बाद में फिर टॉक्सिसिटी कर दे। The type of food in the stomach can modify absorption of a compound. A meal rich in proteins and fat delays absorption. Carbonated beverages increases the rate of absorption by increasing gastric emptying time. Concentrated chemicals decrease absorption due to gastric irritation and pyloric sphincter constriction. Advantages of oral route is it provides the body a chance to metabolize and detoxify the poison. As through water route it reaches liver and get detoxified. On the other hand, some compounds are activated by the liver enzymes and becomes more toxic. So एक एडवांटेज इसका ओरल रूट का ये है कि जो ड्रग हम लेते हैं वो पोर्टल विनस सिस्टम के जरिए लिवर में जाती है और उधर चांसेस होते हैं कि लिवर उसको डिटॉक्सिफाई कर दे और वो साइन एंड सिम्टम्स और वो टॉक्सिक इफेक्ट जो है वो ड्रग का ना आए। Inhalation. The lung is a large organ which is constantly exposed to various pollutants in the air, like dust, fibers, and other irritants. Pulmonary route greatly increase the toxicity because of its rich blood supply, close proximity to the air, and large surface area. The toxicants which get absorbed from lungs are either vapors or aerosols. Vapors of toxicants are either gases or volatile liquids or solids. Gases are carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide, and nitrogen oxide, while volatile liquids are chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, solids are mercury. These vapors cross the alveolar membrane by simple diffusion, and blood level depends upon its solubility. Inhalation of few puffs of hydrogen sulfide can cause death because of quick solubility. Aerosols are suspensions of particles and their absorption depends upon the size of the particle. Size of 1 micron or less will reach the alveoli. Absorption of particles either by lipid solubility or water filtration process. Fourth factor is metabolism of the toxic agent. It is the primary mechanism for detoxification, converted to less toxic form and then readily excreted through kidneys. But some compounds after metabolism are changed to a compound which is equally or more active. For example, methanol to formaldehyde and formic acid, which is more toxic. Fifth factor is state of health of the person. In healthy individuals, chances of survival are more favorable. But if the person suffering from liver disease or renal disease, it affects the pharmacokinetics of toxic agent. Hypertensive persons respond more to sympathomimetics. Opiates cause respiratory depression in a person having head injury. So, age is also important. In small children less than 5 years of age, where the toxic events are more common, but At the same time, hepatic enzymes are not well developed, so present lethal effects. Young can fight well against poisoning. Old people toxic effects are reduced because of generalized reduction in blood supply, but on the other hand, due to old age, there is greater incidence of liver, renal, cardiovascular diseases that reduces ability to detoxify the drug. Nutritional state and dietary factors. Certain dietary factors like contents of stomach, acidic or alkaline, hot or cold, and viscosity is important for absorption. Drugs taken empty stomach achieve high blood level. Calcium in milk reduce absorption of certain drugs like tetracycline. And sex is also important for the effect of drug. There is difference in pharmacological effects to different drugs and chemicals in males and females. As a general rule, men weigh more than women, hence will require more dose to produce effects. Males having more muscle mass, so quick absorption in them. And there is environmental factors. One is temperature. When low response of a biological system to a toxic agent is decreased, temperature high increases the effects. टेम्परेचर लो है तो बायोलॉजिकल सिस्टम जो है टॉक्सिक इफेक्ट उस पर कम होगा और जब टेम्परेचर ज़्यादा हो जाएगा तो इफेक्ट्स भी इंक्रीज हो जाएंगे. Occupation. Individuals working in industries where hydrocarbons or volatile substances are used may increase ability to metabolize drugs and chemicals. Their liver enzyme activity is increased. And third is living conditions. It has been seen in experimental animals that LD50 dose of various drugs is decreased in animals which are placed in isolation than in overcrowded environment. तो आइसोलेशन में रहने वालों में टॉक्सिसिटी कम होगी. Genetics. Pharmacogenetics describes the differences in an individual response to drug and chemicals that are related to hereditary influences. This difference is due to differences in rate of metabolism. So thank you very much. Any questions?